Biggie was talking about that woman that was swallowed whole by the snake in Indonesia. True story. Been reported on the news. 5 people have been swallowed whole by snakes in Indonesia.
All right.
Boa constrictor. No, python. What's worse? They're the same? Python, boa constrictor.
They're both constrictors, aren't they? They
Yeah.
both choke you before they eat you.
If you met one in the jungles, which would be worse?
Ooh, I don't know.
I have no idea.
First you tip your hat.
Does one grow larger? I mean, the pythons, they're the ones kind of running loose in the Everglades,
They're
right?
huge.
In Florida.
They're huge. And
Are
yes,
those pythons?
I think.
Yeah, they're pythons.
Yeah, the python that ate her was 16 feet.
But the boa constrictor is very large also.
I don't know if that can grow 16 feet, though.
I have no idea.
Anaconda's the biggest, right? Out of all the snakes. Aren't those the biggest? Don't those go to like 30 feet and they're like...
Well, if that movie is any indication with John Voight.
Anaconda's what swallowed him. And then spit him back up.
2 acts later.
Yes. And he winked at the camera.
Covered in snake slime.
That's right.
They're slow to digest.
Apparently, yeah. Apparently, stuff. Do you think that if you really were to be eaten, you're dead before he eats you, right? I mean, there's
they choke you.
Yeah, they choke you. They
choke you out.
Choke you out. David knows. He's a python man. David, you're talking about this. Go ahead.
Hey, I own it. I owned a 17-foot reticulated python for about 3 or 4 years. And essentially what it is boas and pythons are essentially the same. They have small ones all the way up to big ones. The biggest one is an anaconda for the boa family and a reticulated python for the python family.
Okay.
But they're basically the same thing.
Huh. So I wouldn't, if I was choosing one to be more dangerous than the other, they're equal.
Yeah, they're basically equal. They're both constrictors, non-poisonous. They simply wrap around your body, and every time you exhale, they squeeze tighter.
Oof.
So when you go to inhale, you can't inhale.
Aren't you stunned to hear that a woman who was walking to her family's house could be caught and taken down by one of these snakes?
Not at all.
You're not surprised by that?
No, I've seen these snakes have taken down deer, alligators, all kinds of large animals. They'll eat basically anything.
But I find
How do they
that,
sneak
aren't
up
they
on you?
really slow movers, aren't they?
Well, no, what they do is they just sit there quietly until you walk by. And then when you walk by, they bite you. And as soon as they bite you, they move a lot quicker than you think they can.
I see. Okay.
And they start wrapping up, and then they wrap up a leg, and then they wrap up a leg and an arm, and then they get around your thorax, and then they start squeezing.
What an awful way to go. Were you ever worried because you owned one that was 16 feet long?
No, mine was a male, and he basically had 2 modes, feed me or mate.
Right.
So,
like most males.
It's a lot of us.
Yeah, right. Oh, yeah, that's right.
Right. About 6 months of the year, we didn't mess with them. We just fed him. And then the other 6 months of the year, he was very docile. He wanted to explore. He wanted to move around, but never threatening. I had pets. I had cats, dogs, no problems at all. He always ate. I fed him frozen thawed rabbits. 3 at a time.
3 frozen thawed rabbits at a time. And are you saying you let him out amongst the dog, the cat, like in the house?
Yep. He would roam around my house. He loved to crawl up in the bed underneath the sheets.
Oh, my word.
Curl up underneath the sheets, but he would run in the house and was, like I say, never really a threat.
And you say you lived alone,
single, right?
No, I've got a wife and 4 children.
Oh my God! This is just unheard of.
Yeah.
Now,
did he just die of Did he die of natural causes?
No, I had to get rid of him because I just simply didn't have the room for him.
And what did you do to get rid of him?
I sold him.
Okay, right. Okay. Is it legal? Was it legal for you to be owning the snake wherever you are?
But the cage I had, you actually had to remove screws to open it.
Okay. Yeah. All right.
So when he was in the cage, he was secure.
All right.
Okay.
We missed your answer. Was it legal for you to have him at the time, or were you doing it under the, below board? He's not going to answer the question.
It's almost like his attorney.
It's just like pressing mute him.
I think you got your answer.
I think I got
He loved car rides. And Sonic. I'd go to Sonic, I'd get him a cherry limeade.
Is that odd? Twice that question.
One's okay.
And then twice, nothing.
It's like our stream.
Yes. Mike, you're talking about snakes also. Woman was eaten whole by a snake in Indonesia. Go ahead.
Yeah, well, from somebody that's owned quite a few of them, I had a 14-foot male Burmese, 9-foot albino Burmese, and an 8-foot red-tailed boa. The worst snake you want to come across outside of the anacondas is the reticulated python. They are aggressive as all get out. You know, the only way you can tell the difference between a retic and a Burmese is basically the scale pattern. Then it goes down to the Burmese python, and then then you get into your boas and your ball pythons. But I believe the world record snake is held by a reticulated python. Mm-hmm. There are some internet videos of a guy that goes down under a house and meets up with a 26-foot female reticulated python. Bad situation, but I'm not surprised they swallow whole alligators once they get up past the 20-some foot mark. Anything's game.
Man, unbelievable.
They don't regurgitate.
Yeah,
No, I did a quick check. The largest anaconda ever found is 26 feet long in the Amazon, in the rainforest.
And you say the reticulated python is the most aggressive. That's what the previous caller had.
That's what he had.
Yeah, that's right.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You know, I've owned a lot of snakes, but I would never ever bought a reticulated python.
Do you, if you wanted the most docile one, the one that it would be good to own in that family, which would you get?
Ball python. Ball pythons only get to be about 4 foot long if they're fed regularly. You know, they'll get a little dirt on them, but you pick them up, they'll turn into a ball in your hand. I have 2 of them in the house now.
Mm-hmm.
I've never been struck by them. I've been struck a couple times by my 14-footer coming out of a pig roast, of course. I reached in his cage.
Mm-hmm.
I had a couple cocktails in me, and he come flying out for a pig dinner and got me instead. But, you know, retics, I would stay away from. Ball pythons, perfect pet.
There you have it.
And 100% legal where you live.
Legal for you.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. I bought them right out of a pet store in Ohio.
Oh, well, there you
Okay.
have it. All right. Thank you, Mike. Appreciate that. Good stuff.
Snake people.
Not my thing.
No, they're a group unto themselves.
They are.
Yeah.
They love them. And when he was talking about, we've had snakes in here before, you know.
True.
They,
Those with the albino pythons, they're beautiful animals.
It
They're
was like
creatures.
remember that one was like a yellow and
Yeah. I think those are the albinos.
and I guess so, and it come around your neck and
I
everything.
don't trust any of them.
I don't love it, but I trusted Mike. You
No.
trust Mike? You didn't trust Mike? I trusted Mike when he said
No.
ball. But he said ball python, because you know why? Because he used the word retic. That was
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what they do at conferences and conventions.
This guy's got it. He knows his stuff.
It is ridiculous.
I trusted the first caller too.